And we're live.
What's
going on? So,
Oh.
just a word of caution on this. You always want to speak into the words.
Into the words, okay.
So,
there's a lot of stuff here for someone with ADHD like me.
yeah, you just
a lot of stuff to touch, play with. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah. So, obviously, everybody that's chiming into us on TikTok and chiming into us over here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, all those places, we have a new look, kind of, sort of. We have a bunch of new gear. We got a new board, new mics.
We've entered semi-pros.
Yeah, absolutely. we are the minor league right now. We are the Savannah Bananas of podcasting right now. Do you watch those guys? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't seen them, no.
So there's like this, I don't know what kind of, they're above college, below pro, some kind of situation in the middle, like a Salt Dogs kind of situation, right?
Okay, yeah.
But they all come out and do like unique things, and the pitchers dance and throw the ball, and like one of the teams walk
is those
out
on TikTok and stuff? Okay,
yeah.
I've seen
the
what you're
guy
talking about.
brings out the like bat on fire and stuff like that, and like it's pretty rad.
Okay.
So, if we're like too loud or anything like that, kind of give us a little bit of feedback. We'd really appreciate it. I just kind of have them kind of set in the middle right now, but usually you can't hear Kyle because he's over there, and we've been doing it a different way. Now you get to be like.
Now you get all of me.
That's right. Now
of just Kyle.
Before you were like only like mid shaft. Now you are to the balls. you are a full part of it. So
full 2 inches.
I got 2 inches of hot dick. So we got a lot to talk about. Even though we threw this show together in 2 hours like normal.
I had mine earlier. I put a little time in.
I definitely threw all of mine together, but I have 2 pages of handwritten notes and a bunch of stuff to talk about. Obviously, the new gear is part of what we're talking about.
I like it a lot, actually.
It sounds good, right?
This is the first time I've seen the new gear. Shane just did all the grunt work. I basically just show up.
Just contribute. So the really cool part of this all is that now we're like big time. We've got 2 other mics and stuff, so we can bring in guests live
I'm
in
looking
person.
forward to bringing on guests
in living color, and we'll probably bring on some on Streamlabs and stuff too. I'm really excited about that too. We got some big names that I kind of have lined up, and some guys that are big locally, like big in Chinatown kind of situations. So I'm really excited about it. So we're working further and further to progress into some kind of we know what we're doing situation.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it.
We want to be able to start it and not look surprised, but then again, that's kind of our catchphrase at this point.
That's kind of welcome to the shit show. So you also might notice that we're wearing shirts with our logo on it.
Kind of moving up.
So we had the crew over at All the Things Boutique in Central City, Nebraska. We reached out to them. They're a new local business to us, and they offered screen printing. And so I kind of just felt it out. We were talking about it because we got a golf tournament that we're sponsoring.
Yeah.
Sponsoring a prize at least. And so that was coming up, and so we wanted to do something to have something concrete to put in our little basket or whatever. So we got these shirts done.
Hey, what up, Pitmaster from East Texas?
Ooh, absolutely, hell yeah. I got a lot of buds from East Texas.
Yeah, it sounds like somewhere we need to go, though. Pitmaster. I'm always down for some Texas barbecue.
That guy that owns Fuego lives, I think, in Texas. That grill that that $1,000 open flame grill thing that I want so bad, I just not gonna spend $1,000 on it. So we got 2 special shirts that are exclusively to us that have the phrase on the back.
You ain't gonna be able to read it, but
oh nope, we can't read it, and it's gonna be backwards anyhow. It says, "Don't show that ankle if you don't want none." So our shirts are special for it. But we've got some in black that we ordered, and then we ordered the ladies in our life, the special ladies in our life, purple
Ladies
ones.
edition.
Purple ones. So we got purple for them. Now, I'm not going to do this big spiel if you guys want to order stuff from us or blah, 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 blah. If you guys do, reach out to us. That's fine. And we can see about making another order of stuff. But if you want something from us, as far as a shirt or these badass stickers that we got.
I really liked how these turned out, too, for
Oh, yeah.
just kind of for owner.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be everywhere now.
Right. Big time.
Every bar, I'm just sticking them on stall doors. But
I joking around with local PD, and I was like, "Hey, we can put these on your cruisers, right?"
like, let's just put them on the side there, Just get the name out.
Said if we get on enough of them, it just looks standard issued.
That's right, absolutely. So we got new merch. If you guys want to check out all the things boutique, they are out of Central City, Nebraska. They do a lot of really cool things. Have you been in the store yet?
I haven't been to the store. I know they're setting up.
So there's two sides to it. So there's one family that owns one half of it. The other family owns the other half. One half is a lot of like the clothes. I can't think of what that brand is, but they're like a brand that, of clothes that, for little kids and stuff like that. And then the other stuff is like random stuff like candy and things that like toys for kids and just all kinds of randomness, slime and cotton candy and all kinds of crazy. But the reason that they did that is because, so the one family that owns half of it is the Grahams. They have a daughter that has Down syndrome, and their daughter's idea was to start making these like monthly subscription boxes with all kinds of fun stuff in them, like slime and whatever. They're called Bailey boxes. So she's been on the news a couple times for that and stuff like that.
That sounded familiar.
Yeah,
I think I've heard of that.
So they have a subscription box thing, and it was like taking over their house. So they wanted a place so they could do that and put those together and whatever. But they also wanted a place that they could sell like the individual items that they order for those things in like a store setting as well. So they bought a brick and mortar store right next to my work office. And put that all up. They did some really cool stuff. They have like a whole rainbow wall in the back and stuff like that. And they do a lot of different things for Down syndrome awareness and stuff like that. So
okay, so those boxes are kind of like monthly. I don't want to. How do you call it? Like projects or things you do with the kids or books.
A little bit of everything. It's got like some. They have like slime and candy and like little toys, and it's kind of random every month.
Okay.
But there's information about it on their website and stuff like that too. So
okay.
If you want to check those guys out, it's at All the Things Boutique on Facebook. That's the easiest way to reach them.
Okay.
And if you're ever in Central City, they're downtown in Central City. You can go check them out. But they did an awesome job on our shirts. I'm super stoked about them. Yeah.
I think the most that I like, because I'm a big guy,
yeah,
is the shirt actually goes down past my waist.
Right.
Like
There's
that means more to me than I think most people understand.
Oh, no, we're large and in charge guys. It means a lot to both of us. So let's see. I could talk about my Omaha trip.
Tell us. I thought you were doing like some kind of Decepticon thing here with us.
So last weekend we went and celebrated some friends' bachelor and bachelorette party kind of together. We went to Omaha. We got to stay with Tasha's sister for a night. So we went shopping and stuff like that in Lincoln, in Omaha. And so I picked up a bunch of records, and we checked out all kinds of cool. One record store gives you beer when you walk in, so you have like a beer while you're browsing for records. I thought it was fantastic because they're right down next to Brickway Brewery.
Okay.
And so they were right like 2 doors down from that or whatever. I think it's called Rangoon, I think is the name of the store. So part of it is a record store, and then part of it is
Chinese restaurant.
No, part of it is like a cool store that has like glasses and coffee cups and signs and towels and all kinds of like Nebraska stuff and all kinds of. There's a lot of gay pride stuff. There was all kinds of things. So that was pretty cool. And then we checked out the coolest store I think that we went into when we were shopping, at least, was there's a store called Hollywood Candy that's in Omaha. Have you ever heard of that?
Is it only in Omaha or is it?
I don't know. So, but
like
it's definitely not
else.
just a candy store. So like the Omaha one, you go in and it looks like a combination of like from the outside, like a regular like retail store or something, and then it also looks like an antique store or something, like a salvage place or something, right? The craziest part of the whole deal is that
I want to see what it looks like. I'm gonna pull it up real fast.
oh no, that's fine.
Go on.
But they essentially are like an antique for sale store, like an antique store, and also a candy store, and a movie theater that seats like 20 people, and a retro 50s diner, and a pinball arcade, and like it just kept going. I was like, what is
It's
going?
like the Mall of America of record stores.
Yeah, but it was like the record store part of it was like very very minimal, you know. But then there was like a full candy store, and it was the wildest thing. It was really cool. So we did that. We did a little shopping, a little here and there stuff. We got to have dinner with her sister and her sister-in-law and stuff like that, and have a good time with that. And then on Saturday, we went and checked into our hotel because we got a hotel room that next day, and then we went to dinner. We all went and I think we did pizza or something like that, and then we all decided to go to the casinos. We went to casinos, and it was just what you would expect. It was
any luck on that side of it?
yeah. We ended up coming out on top. Tasha won like 500 and something on. There you go.
Nice.
Tasha won like 500 and something on $20. But all in all, for the night, after paying for drinks and everything like that, we ended up a little on top. So that ended up being pretty good. Everybody else kind of seemed to break even. There was a gust of sin that was with us. I don't. Maybe Josh. I don't remember, but he was with
a 1 in 3 shot.
Yeah, right. And I think he did okay too. But yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I did talk the entire wedding party out of going to the strip club, which yes, you heard right. I talked people out of going to a strip club. That's not my MO. However, I knew this group of people, and I knew that divorces would follow. It's really a great idea.
You really had everyone in mind when you did it.
Well, I knew better, right? So, like, I know this group of people, and I know that everything sounds like a fantastic idea when you're drinking and you're having a good time at the casino and you don't want the party to end. That's not the place to take this group of people. I know this better than anyone. I know.
I would like to meet all the group of people if you became the responsible one.
So that's not they're not necessarily irresponsible necessarily. I just had less to drink at that time, and I had a little bit more of my wits about me. So I just knew it was going to be a bad idea if we traveled down that road.
Okay.
And I also didn't want to be out in Council, Kentucky at 4 a.m. after the strip club trying to get a damn Uber or something to take us back to Papillion where her hotel was. So, hence, we didn't go to the strippies. And I'm okay with that. Perfectly okay with that.
Okay. So I've spent like the last few weekends just trying to stay at home so I could stare at my ceiling.
Okay.
Like, I just feel like all the events we got going on, we both had that dance recital.
Oh, geez.
Then it's just like one thing after another, after another, after another. This weekend's Easter, so it's just like, again, another weekend. And so I did take a week off work. So next week I don't work. I'm not going anywhere. I just don't work.
There you go. Maybe we'll sneak in a random podcast or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only other thing I did want to talk about that I did is going to lead us into our first drink for the night. Okay. So I got to do a personal distillery tour of Sideshow Spirits.
Okay. I noticed the hat.
Hence the hat of Sideshow Spirits in Lincoln. So if you guys checked out my TikTok, there's the full kind of tour on there. Not the audio of it, like him talking about everything, but the kind of a walkthrough of everything. It is gorgeous. It looks super cool. It's high end on the one side, and everything, and the other side is set up like a 80s kind of like dance club kind of thing now, but it's going away. But there's like a cool secret door and all kinds of stuff. And then he took us through like the whole process, so we got to try a couple of the different whiskeys and stuff like that too. But he took us through like the whole distilling process for different spirits and stuff like that. It was actually really interesting and stuff, and we had a good time. So, that being said, I have for us to try live. This is Sideshow Spirits Lincoln Bourbon Whiskey. So there's a Nebraska Bourbon Whiskey version and a Lincoln version. The Nebraska one is solely corn for the grain bill, and doesn't have a lot of other stuff. Yeah. Lincoln is a mixture of some different grains. So there's probably wheat and stuff like that in here, and not just corn. The reason that they did just the corn one is because in order for it to be actual bourbon that you can call straight bourbon, it has to be a corn mash bill and stuff, and then it has to sit for like 3 years or 2 years or something. They're not quite there yet with that. This has been sitting. This was aged for about a year. Yeah. So you want to grab...
Can you imagine the process of just getting started with some of that stuff? Like, okay, we got it. We'll let you know in 3, 4, 5 years how good it is.
Yeah, so one of the owners is one of the owners of Kincaidor as well.
Okay.
So he kind of had a little bit of an idea, at least the cleaning process, some of the, where to, they get their grains from Crete, Nebraska. They get all their corn and stuff from Crete, Nebraska. So we're just going to do a little taster, nothing crazy. We're just going to do a little taster of this. I've had it, I shared it with the groom's party or whatever on that.
Okay.
So these little glasses are pretty much specifically for this. They're snifter glasses is what they're called. So it's kind of the same process, the same kind of concept as with the beer glasses that are kind of shaped like this. It's for aroma. Yeah. So you can kind of tell on the sides, that stuff there that stays up there, that's called legs. Like that's like the oils and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's there.
So give her a little swisher and a little cheers to the new gear, huh? Here we go.
Right.
So you just take a little bit, hold it in your mouth, and let it sit in your mouth a little bit. And it'll sweeten up and stuff like that in your mouth before you swallow it. I took a little bit bigger.
First time?
I took a little bit of a bigger drink. It's good.
Why so spicy?
Because it's 118 proof. That's what it's. So yeah, so a little yeah. This is from the 001 batch number. This is a single barrel cask strength bottle, 118 proof, 89% or 59% alcohol. So it's fairly smooth.
Yeah.
It caught me a little bit because I took a big drink, but yeah, it's pretty good. So if we don't want to go dive too hard into those, we can put them out of the way, and we can get into the beers on here in a minute.
No, I didn't mind that at all.
No, I think it's pretty smooth, right?
Yeah,
it's warm for sure. Yeah. That's about all I got for kind of opening stuff.
So I think I had like a Winter Fresh gum before I came in and chucked it off to the side.
Oh yeah. So how's that interacting with?
Well,
it's not bad.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
So I lost a lot of the flavor of the Winter Fresh, but
yeah, I'm sure it burned it right out of there. Gonna light you up. I'm kind of surprised. We're really a lot more in the comments over here on the TikTok side of or the Twitch side of things.
Yeah, TikTok's kind of quiet too.
Yeah, that's really weird. All right, we're just gonna keep rolling. I think if you're watching and you wanna just toss us a comment, tell us what you think. Tell us if you can hear us good.
Yeah,
TikTok. I don't know how loud we're being. We have headphones on and stuff like that. So if you guys are hearing us good and stuff, just kind of give us a little thumbs up or whatever. Do you have anything else for opening at all?
No, I got some sports.
Ooh, I do too. You go first. You got a couple, I got a couple. So
okay. Grambling State University, the new head coach, volleyball coach, Chelsea Lucas, made a pretty big decision this last week. She cut the entire team.
What?
She cut the entire softball team, and volleyball. Sorry, okay. Yeah, volleyball team, and they're scrambling around now trying to find scholarships other places. And we have talked on this podcast before, on another episode, about how the transfer portal
Yep.
is really kind of a killer to some programs, specifically like programs in Nebraska's, where we're at.
Yeah. Yep.
So we get 1-2 great players that come in. They get an opportunity somewhere else, and they go just as more players.
Where's Grambling State from? Do you know that information?
I did. I didn't print that off, but I will look.
I'm just curious where it's at. That's all. I would assume
I
like
think it was
Alabama,
East.
right? Is that like maybe
Louisiana.
There we go.
Louisiana.
Hey Siri, how's the audio? Sound good? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. Anyway.
I got special buttons here. This is like I got special. I haven't shared these with you yet.
No.
So so there's that one. There's that one. There's that one. There's that one, and then the other ones right now are programmed to music.
So basically, every time like Sarah jumps in,
yes,
I'll just prepare for it.
So yeah.
Anyway, one thing that the coach said that I kind of enjoyed.
Okay.
Because there's no loyalty in college ball anymore. It's
Yeah. Well, no, it's because you get paid now, right? That's the biggest thing, right?
I did actually have. I mean, we can talk a little bit about that. I have that as a question for you later on.
Okay.
Next question. But the coach said, just as the transfer portal empowers student athletes, our coaches are also empowered to make the decision they deem necessary to advance their program.
Wow.
Like
the stones on her.
Like,
Is she trans? Because that would be funny, right? Just walking around with a big old set of clankers. That's what she's doing right now.
I mean, it's an all or nothing for her, though. I mean,
yeah,
she got rid of everyone. So the people she brings in don't perform. If they do, she's going to be one of the best volleyball coaches.
You're gonna see a lot more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but if they don't, and I've said that too, though. Even in the football realm, those scholarships that they get are just. I mean, they're getting tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships, and some of them just suck.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And they're like, "Well, could you do no better?" No, but I'm also not getting tens of $1,000s to play.
That's right. That's exactly like my thoughts on pro athletes, right? Like a kicker that misses kicks all the time. You get paid to do one thing. You should be the best ever at that one thing. And if you're off, you need to figure it out. Right? Because, and don't get me wrong, I have no idea the right kind of mindset. I don't have any Mickey Mantle genes hiding in me. I'm not that guy, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not that guy. However, your 9-to-5 job expects you to every day show up and be the best possible version of you. These guys are just sitting back and relaxing and waiting for paychecks, and I think it's ridiculous.
So that does kind of lead me in, though. What do you think? What are your thoughts about college players getting paid?
So I've always thought that realistically they deserve something, because it's really not collegiate athletes anymore. It's athletes who happen to be going to college at the time. That's how I really feel. It's not student athletes anymore. It's not that. It comes down to they're there to play sports. College is a second thing for them, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's turned into. It's not how it should be, but it's how it's turned what it's turned into. But at the same time, the national championship game of the NCAA for football brings in, that's the top probably 10 whatever for the entire nation for the year on television.
Yeah.
And these programs are getting paid hundreds of thousands, if not, more than that, to be on these, or whatever, and these coaches are getting paid ridiculous amounts of money and stuff like that. I understand that's their job. But at the same time, yeah, you have student athletes that are struggling to pay bills and whatever, especially if you expect them to be at X amount of practices a month and only do this and only focus on this and be gone all the time and whatever. I think there should be some compensation.
So that was actually my thought on it too. There was a few things that I came like. One, this gives Nebraska kind of a leg up in that realm because our booster, and we could pay some people with our program, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of how good we are or bad we are, we got money to throw around to stuff. You can tell because we just keep getting rid of coaches and paying them off.
Yeah.
But players have to do so many practices. They have to do so much, so they get the scholarship. But what do? They get spring break like everyone else. They have to get food or transportation, whatever, like anyone else.
They play on holidays all the time, stuff like that too.
My concern, though, is because you're going to have kind of like the transfer portal, like Nebraska, we have money to toss around. Not everyone does. And so you're going to, obviously, even kids are like, I can make, 20,000 here or 2,000 here.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, personally, I'm okay with them getting paid, but it should just be a flat rate for all colleges across the board where they make, like, don't matter the position, it's just capped off. Like, you can make 10 grand or whatever. It would be per semester, per year.
I think there is. I think there is a ceiling to how much they get paid.
But they also get like the licensing stuff for their stuff.
That's 100% it. Because that's a whole different thing, right? Because
look at Oregon with Nike and their uniforms and stuff. They'll be able to dish that out.
Yeah. So that's the thing though too. So you getting paid by, like a sports team only pays you X amount of dollars. Tiger Woods didn't get rich from the PGA. Tiger Woods got rich off of Nike and Buick. That's what it comes, that's a whole different thing. But then that comes down to your agent or whatever that you're going to hire to try to put your brand out there. That comes down to you beating down doors or accepting offers or whatever. I don't know. Then it becomes a job, right? So then now you have a job on top of trying to be an athlete. I don't know.
So the point of that, though, I still think they're going to look more NFL than collegiate for some of those licensing things because that's just like a dicey realm. But I do think they should just have that, we're going to give the players enough to do things, they do stuff. I mean, they're probably going to make more than your part-time working college student. Yeah. Because, they deserve it. They're putting their body on the line. They're, their career could start or end at that level. So I'm okay with that. But it should just be across the board where schools can't be buying players. Because with the transfer portal, like, man, this guy's really good. Let's go offer him just a few thousand more and see if he'll transfer to us.
There's so many variables that happen in that. Okay, let's leave Nebraska. Well, no, here. Okay, we'll put Nebraska in this. The Nebraska baseball team does exponentially better than, say, the Nebraska basketball team. So is it X amount of dollars to each baseball player, but only X amount of dollars? Does it depend on how good you're doing?
I think
you get bonuses for wins. There's a lot that goes into all that.
I do think you should get bonuses to the players for bowl games or championships. And those are just, again, straight flat, hey, way to go, here's 10 grand. But as far as each individual, like baseball, basketball, football...
You think it should be just straight across the board?
I think it should be straight across the board, but I think it's going to have to also come down to, like, our football program brings in a substantially more money than the baseball or basketball program. And so I think you should look at it like that. Like, compare NBA to the WNBA, where you're getting your views. So, like, who's bringing in the money? So you can base their pay, that flat rate, off the sport and what that brings in from the collegiate level.
Yeah, but so then
like our volleyball team would probably be fine.
Yeah, but but then that right there, right? So then that goes back to your previous thing you're talking about transfer portal. If I am a Nebraska, if I'm a Nebraska basketball player and I want to make more money, I'm going to go to Kansas, because obviously their basketball program is world renowned, or nationwide, renowned or whatever.
Oh, no, I think basketball should be across the board as
so
far as
every college.
Every college. I don't think any college should be more or less. I think they should just have it straight across. Okay,
so then that comes down to you're going to have to go university compared to whatever. Then the size of your university is also going to depict your pay. There's a lot that goes into all that. You know what I mean?
There's different divisions, too, though. You're not just going to do, straight across, between divisions is going to be different because obviously,
I'm sure there's
SEC, Alabama, stuff like that's probably got
I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it, how they get paid now.
More so than like South
And
Dakota
I haven't
Jackrabbits.
I haven't really, I haven't really dove into it, but
Yeah, I just think they should consider it.
Sari did hop in here and say, "I love your shirt." Sari, did you see your shirt by any chance? If you're still on there, let me know if you're still on there. If you didn't see it, I'll show you. Yeah. So okay, so we got that. So that's not all of your sports stuff, yeah?
I only got one more, which is actually just a kind of quick brief. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Excuse me. Clayton Kershaw, Los Angeles baseball team.
Yep.
He's the pitcher, right?
Yep.
He went 7 innings with a perfect game, and they pulled him out. And he was just cool. He's like, okay.
Ugh, I would want that no.
Right? And they asked him why, and he says, the team, we're going for wins, we're going for this. It's bigger than me, so I wanted, if they need me to do this, I stepped out. So 100% team player. It was against Minnesota, and I think there was actually a couple bats on the backup pitcher.
Yeah.
But it didn't mount to anything.
Yeah.
But it ruined the perfect game.
Well, so...
But, I mean, talk about a sport, right?
So I do have like a quick interjection for this that reminded me of it. I don't know the player's name. I don't remember that. I remember reading about it, though. So there was a player that was pitching a no-no, and in the 7th inning, he got pulled, and then he came back later and finished. It's because he got injured and, like, broke something, and he had to leave to go get it fixed, and then he got it fixed, and then came back out and finished. And him pitching alone pitched a no. Like it didn't end up being a perfect game because he got pulled out for a little while. But yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy. I have to look it up. I'll send it to you or something. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. So I've got a couple of things, and obviously we talked about baseball a little bit. We're just opening day happened earlier this week. I got the fact that Tiger Woods came back and played in the Masters.
I saw that.
Ended up being plus 13. That's incredible. Coming back from a bad back injury, and then he was in a car accident that looked like it was going to ruin his career, broke his leg, all kinds of stuff. Comes back, first shot out. He was like, after the first day, he was like, I don't know, +1 or something like that. Like, jeez, coming back and like, all right, I'll show you guys. And at this point, he's really one of the older ones in the tour,
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So I got that. I think he ended up 24th, 28th, something like that. Derek Carr robbed the Raiders earlier this week. He got a 3-year extension for $121 million for being an absolute garbage quarterback. I don't know if they didn't have any options or whatever, but like...
They didn't have any first-round picks.
Oh, my gosh.
The Browns gave them all away.
The other NFL news that Hitchens got killed.
Yeah.
Did you see about
Was it
that? A trash truck hit him.
Yeah, but it was in Florida.
It was in Florida. They were training. They were doing training down there in South Florida.
I can't remember the team now.
Huh?
I can't remember the team he played for now.
The Steelers.
Steelers, yes.
Yeah, so they were down there training, and he was jogging something across a highway, got hit by a trash truck. 24 years old. Arguably a good possibility of being the starting quarterback. They were sitting there trying to say that it was going to be Trubisky, but I don't think it was guaranteed that it was going to be Trubisky. So he had a chance to be a starting quarterback again. Sad deal. And then my last one.
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather is offering $20 million to any NFL team to hire Antonio Brown.
What?
If it doesn't work out, he'll pay him $20 million.
Okay.
Yes.
So they must be just friends.
They're bros. Yes. Antonio Brown and Floyd Mayweather are bros.
Why can't Antonio Brown offer $20 million?
Because he doesn't make enough money. That's why he's not Floyd Mayweather. So he was crying earlier this week about how he doesn't understand why he's not making the money that these other top-end wide receivers in the league are making. maybe because they didn't take off their pads and shirt and dance in the end zone as you're walking to the locker room in the third quarter because your team is losing.
Right.
Or whatever, like...
Well, I mean, okay.
Maybe because you're
Look at Colin Kaepernick,
problem.
okay? And I'm going to take all the politics out of it.
Okay.
But Colin Kaepernick, right?
Is a garbage quarterback.
And
Yep.
they're like...
One
They're
good year.
fired him because they're racist. They don't want him there. And it's like, no. He brought too much publicity, too much bad heat on him for being a subpar quarterback.
Yeah. He had one good year.
Yeah. And so, like, if Tom Brady was to have a movement like that, they'd probably, we'll put up with it.
Yeah.
Because he got him Super Bowl wins.
Yeah. Not.
Kaepernick was never going to.
No. Got him to playoffs.
So.
Yep. No, I agree. 100%.
So, same thing.
I'm just saying.
That's why.
I'm just saying. I'll let the Chiefs take $20 million. Put him on the bench. I don't care. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You get $20 million. Why wouldn't you do that?
Put it towards their bonuses.
Right? Yikes. Okay. Well, that's what we got for that. Let's get into a beer. You want to get into a beer real quick?
Yes.
And then we'll tear into this. Ching ching. Let's see what.
Bad neighbor, huh?
Yeah, I think those are just like.
Your neighbor gave it to you?
No. Okay, so I've got an odd one. I don't want to do that one now. I think we're gonna leave the odd one. Sorry. I think we're gonna leave the odd one to the last one.
Okay.
Because I have a pickle pilsner.
That sound, I'm going to tell you, it sounds terrible.
I'm gonna leave it to the last one. Okay.
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 I only say that because, like, I don't really care for, like, pickle flavored. I like pickles on hamburgers. I like pickles, like, in general.
Yeah.
Pickle flavored stuff just doesn't hit me right.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how this is gonna hit you either. So, so we've got a juicy one, but it happens to be a double.
Okay.
And then I've got a West Coast one, which is more of a piney one. And then we have this pickle. So I think we're going to start out with the juicy one that I think you're going to like more.
Okay.
And we'll just increasingly
Roll
get
from
worse
there.
for you.
Yeah, okay. No, I like it.
All right. So we are going to be drinking Intergalactic Juice Hunter Double IPA from Odd 13.
Inspired by the Beastie Boys.
Intergalactic Planetary. So this has Galaxy, Simcoe, and Amarillo hops. It's 8%, and it's from Odd 13 Brewing. Odd 13 Brewing.
This would be, what, the third or fourth one we've had from Odd 13?
Yes, it's from Bloomfield, Colorado. Bloomfield, Colorado.
Did they just have, like, 13? I wonder where that number came from there.
You know what? Here's the craziest thing. I really tried to do my best to look up information about this brewery.
Well, that color is something.
Yeah. So I tried my best to look up. There is almost no information about this company.
Really?
Yeah, it's the wildest thing.
So I'm just gonna jump into crazy fact ahead.
Okay.
It's not on mine.
Yeah.
Heinz 57. They said like 57 varieties or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
There's not 57 anything. The guy who has Heinz, whatever, just like the number 57. So
You've got to be shitting me, right?
He just made 57 the thing. There's not 57 varieties. There's not 57 anything ketchup. It's just Heinz.
That's the most bananas shit I've ever heard.
I really like that number. I'm going to put it somewhere in my brand.
What the... Okay, so we've got this very hazy straw color, one finger tall, white head on it. It is super hazy, but it smells delicious.
I do smell that.
Super juicy smelling, lots of citrus. Pineapple, definitely pineapple hiding in there. All right, you ready for this one?
Yep.
Ooh, that is delightful. I like it.
Got a little bit of a bite, but not bad.
No, so it's got a little bit of a dank pine at the back end, but nothing crazy. This is definitely a New England style hazy IPA. It is delicious, though. I really do like it. You pick up a lot more like orange rind, orange peel, maybe tangerine or something in there. Something a little bit less, a little bit more bitter.
No, it's 100 times better than whatever you sent me home with last week, because this is not bad at all.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So I I really like Palomas. Okay, so can't post. Okay, so traditional Paloma is like a vodka grapefruit situation. Okay, now Cayman Jack, which is the traditionally make like margaritas, like canned margaritas. They have a variety pack, and the best tasting one out of the variety pack, it's like margarita. What is it? Margarita, Moscow Mule, something else margarita, and then a Paloma. The Paloma one is hands down the best tasting one, and it's fantastic. Like, I buy the variety pack only for that. You can't buy that. That's the only thing you can't buy by itself is the Paloma, and I really, really like it. Well, Brickway out of Lincoln, out of Omaha, sorry.
Yeah.
They made a Paloma. I was kind of excited. I bought a 4-pack of it. It's dog shit. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna.
Terrible.
It is not good. It was not good. I didn't like it. It tastes like static and somebody yelling the word grapefruit in the other room, and then it makes your mouth feel disgusting.
It doesn't go down as a liquid. I don't understand the science behind
so
it.
much.
It's almost like trying to drink Pop Rocks, if that's a thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, that's a good way to put it. It's really
terrible,
overcarbonated, and I don't know. It tastes like how do I want to say it? Oh, like sparkling water, overcarbonated sparkling water, or like seltzer water maybe. Then you like took a piece of grapefruit and you dipped it in and you took it out, and that's what you get. It was not good, and I feel bad because I've tried different Brickway beers. I've yet to find one that I really enjoy, and it might just be one of those breweries I just don't like anything from. But it's a sad deal because I want to really enjoy everything local, and since they're a local brewery that's local to Nebraska, they have a cool like logos, cool stuff like that. That beer is shit though. It was gross, but it is what it is. So. That's where we're at with it. This one's good though. I really enjoy this one. This one's super tasty. We're getting into freaky facts, I think, is what we're into next, right?
Jump to that.
Yeah, I think that's our normal little segue.
We don't do the news.
No.
Is that after that? Okay, I'm cool. I don't ever have I just kind of put it all in there.
No, I got
how many you got? I got like 3 or 4, I think.
I got 4, and they're all about
4.
music.
Okay. I have 4 and they're not.
Okay. Go to town.
So, first one. Women blink twice as much as men. So that's the fact I found. I read, okay? And I'm like, that's kind of peculiar. So the very first thing I do is I pull up my Google search.
Okay.
And I Googled, does talking make you blink more? And, you can sit here and say, "Man, what
it's
a
one of these.
jerk!"
It's one of these. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Okay. Go ahead.
So I know you're thinking like, what misogynist, all this or that. It's true. Talking does make you blink more.
I bet it is.
They say a lot of the people who think inside the head or just kind of, without speaking verbally, don't blink as much.
Oh dear
But you
God.
do blink more when you're talking because of the muscles and everything. I don't know how the science behind it, but you do blink more from talking. So I just thought, well, that's an interesting fact. I think I know why.
Yeah. I got a joke for you.
Okay.
So this wife, she goes to takes her husband to the therapist. They're having couples therapy, and then she goes, "All we do is fight all the time. All we do is argue and blah blah blah." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, and he tells the husband to go out of the room, and he goes, this is exclusively for you. Next time you guys are arguing and you're fighting, I want you to go into the fridge, or before that, I want you to go out and buy a 6-pack of your husband's favorite beer. You put it in the fridge. Make sure it's nice and cold. And then when you guys start fighting, I want you to walk to the fridge, I want you to crack open a beer, and I want you to take a drink, and then keep it in your mouth for like 20, 30 seconds, and then swallow it, and then hand him the can, and you guys are going to fight less. And she goes, that's bullshit. That's not going to happen. He goes, just try it. So next week, they make another appointment. The wife comes back. She goes, oh my God, it worked. We've fought less and less and less. And he goes, oh yeah? She goes, how did you know? He goes, well, you just needed to keep your fucking mouth shut long enough for him to say what he needed to say. Sorry, that was not a PG joke, but yeah. I heard it earlier this week, and I was like, holy shit.
I'm never gonna remember his name. I can't ever remember his name. But he's an African American gentleman who, like, women call him for advice, right?
Oh dear God.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, it's on TikTok or something, or what?
He has a TikTok, he has a Facebook, but he has like a podcast too. And I will find his name and I will let you know. But women call him for advice on, like, I guess, like, the ones like, why do I have to settle for an average woman or a man or whatever?
Oh.
And he's like, you're an average woman.
Oh,
Why should you get better?
Oh,
I
man.
mean, and he says it like, it comes across like, man, this guy's a jerk. But he's not wrong.
That's so funny. Oh man,
I'll try to find his name. He's got some ones that make me like turn on. Ooh.
I also, just in the same vein of stuff, appreciated your Snapchat you sent out of you turning on the washing machine at the house. like you could definitely tell you were like, I'm not sure if that's the right button or not. Because it doesn't happen very often.
No. I do get spoiled by my wife.
Yeah, for sure.
That was probably the first load of laundry I've done in at least 3 years.
So I'm terrible. This is what I'll do, right? She'll complain. Nobody helps me with laundry, and I go, yeah, I do. She goes, no, you don't. I go, yeah, I do. And in my head, I'm thinking, I go and restart and rinse whatever is in the washing machine and turn the dryer back on every day. I don't ever take it out necessarily or put it in baskets or like fold anything, but I will restart stuff that's probably damp in the dryer. And because I don't know what it is about women in my household that think that you can fit a dumpster worth of clothes in the fucking dryer, but it's driving me crazy. It's like 90 pounds of wet clothes in the dryer. I'm like, that's not how it works. Like, it doesn't, you're gonna just
ruin the belts.
Drives me nuts. Oh, Brandon hopping in here, Mr. Rapid Dave from Strikeout Beer. How are you? We're enjoying this nice Intergalactic Juice Hunter double IPA from Odd 13 Brewing. This has got some killer can art on it. It's got this three-eyed alien who has like a laser coming out of what I could only describe as semi-phallic looking mushroom kind of thing out of his head.
Antennae?
Yeah, sure. And a UFO, and it looks pretty rad though. It's a cool can art. They do like comic book art on all their cans. It's actually really, really good. And it's good, and just so I can reiterate, it's Galaxy, Simcoe, and Amarillo hops. And then they did put lactose in this. So that's why it's extra hazy.
Oh, okay.
And that's probably why it's a little bit smoother stuff too as well.
Gotcha.
Nice. So that was yours, right?
Yep.
You had the first one?
Yep.
Okay, so all of my fun facts, crazy facts, whatever, are going to be about music this week. Here's my first one. Not a single member of the Beatles knew how to read or write music.
Okay.
So none of them.
Wing it?
Nobody could read sheet music at all. They just learned and taught themselves how to play their instruments and then just remembered the parts and whatever. And probably had other people at some point like write it down or whatever. But yeah.
It's almost like infuriating.
So here's another famous musician that doesn't know how to read or write music is David Grohl. one of arguably the best musicians to ever walk the face of the earth, doesn't know how to read or write music. He doesn't even know tab. Which tab is like the hooked on phonics version of sheet music.
I'm pretty sure it was a classical. I think it was Bach who couldn't read or write music either.
Oh, maybe. I really think.
I'm pretty sure it was Bach.
So I think so. In my opinion, I think that those guys are just so right brain creative that analytical stuff just goes out the window. They don't care.
That's insane, though.
Isn't it?
I mean, the brain capacity, and then to play it, hear it, and then play it, and oh yeah, that sounded good. I'll redo it just from what I remembered, what I just did.
Yep.
I don't remember half the things I just did to do it again.
I've watched a lot of documentaries as far as David Grohl and stuff like that, and he talks about how he treats the guitar like the drums and stuff like that, and how he, I don't know how he associates different notes and things like that with the drums. It's super wild.
DJ Bridwell official jumping in here.
What's up, DJ?
Saying I don't either. I think he's talking about doesn't understand how they do it. Maybe.
No, DJ doesn't know how to play or doesn't know how to read or write music either. DJ is a fairly large, I don't know, that's not how I want to say it. In Nebraska, Kansas area, he's big. He's fairly popular and stuff like that. He's bigger than Dage and all those guys and stuff. He plays much bigger shows. He's won awards. He has award-winning music out, stuff like that. He's also gonna be a guest on the podcast coming up. He already knows.
That's your warning.
No, he already knows. We've talked about it. But I don't know if he's gonna be live. It'd be really cool if we get him live and share some beers with him and stuff like that. But he will be on the podcast.
Yeah, he says he knows 3 instruments and don't know how to read or write any of them.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
How that
I played music back in the day. I was in a couple of bands and stuff like that. I'm pretty good about listening and picking up how to play stuff. I'm pretty good at that, but I don't know. I could read tab, I guess. Tab's kind of bullshit though, but
no, that's crazy. I mean, just interesting how everyone's brain works so different.
Yeah,
some people could do that, some people can't, but they can do other things.
DJ is really good about pitch stuff. He can hit pitch, so his vocals far surpass his ability to play the guitar, but he knows that. So don't get me wrong, his guitar playing is on point too, but his vocals are definitely just as good as any top country artist or whatever. It's one of those things.
Okay. So we'll move along here.
That's enough kissing ass.
It's physically impossible for pigs to look up into the sky.
Oh, I almost wrote that one down earlier today.
Did you? So I wanted to write it because I wanted to. What if I grab a pig and pick it up and point it towards the sky?
Throws that shit out the window, doesn't it? It's because
I'm saying he can't physically. So I mean, I assume they lay down, and they can see the sky and stuff. But I'm just thinking what if a pig's never seen the sky? What if you go grab it and point it up and goes, what the fuck? Whoa!
What is this? Oh, man. All right, boys. Getting up super early, hitting the sack. All right, Brayden. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out with us for a little while. Adios, mofos. Later, buddy. Yeah, so it's because of bone structure is why, right? Because their spine doesn't bend up that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my second fun musical fact is that Barry Manilow didn't write the song that he performs with the title I Write the Music. Or I Write the Songs. I Write the Songs is a song that he sings, and he definitely didn't write that. I think that's a flex right there, right?
The guy who did write that only wrote it in spite of everyone who's stealing his songs, and then he just took it and made it his song, right. And he's like, ugh!
I mean, he probably made great money off it. It's Barry Manilow.
Right? Wombats are the only animals whose poop is cube-shaped.
What?
They poop cubes.
Oh, I want a wombat
and
now.
it's due to how their intestines form the feces, which I think is still weird that it would come out in a cube. But it says they'll stack them to mark their territory. So, like, you just, like, imagine, like, wandering around and you'll see a stack of, like, cube feces. You're like, oh,
Okay, so now
that wombat guy.
all I'm picturing is those, like, kids that do, like, the cup stacking things. There's also a thing where you, like, put dice in a cup and you shake them back and forth and it stacks the dice
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Now I'm thinking of that, like, wombat just sitting
Wombat
there
out there
with
shaking
their,
dice.
with their shit in a cup, just stacking shit up. Yikes. All right. In Bohemian Rhapsody, a song that we all know and love,
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury is playing a piano. It's also the exact same piano that Paul McCartney plays in the recording of Hey Jude.
Wow.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be pretty rad. I thought it was a fun fact.
I assume he probably knew that when he did it, too.
Yeah, I would assume so. Like
You would assume.
just happen chance? No. They it was because they played at the same recording studio. So I'm sure it was a piano that was in that recording studio or whatever.
Okay. So I actually knew this one, but I thought it was interesting enough I'd share with everyone. Flamingos are only pink because of the chemicals in the algae and the fish that they eat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're actually like a grayish white.
Yeah, like shrimp and stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that too.
Man, we're smart.
Right? I mean, no, it's because I know useless information.
Basically, if anyone's listening to this and didn't know that, we're just smarter.
Sucks to suck. My last one is kind of my favorite one, right? So my last one is during the mid-70s, David Bowie had a pretty specific diet. Okay, while they were on tour,
Yeah.
it's the only stuff he would eat and consume was red peppers, milk, and cocaine.
Is that where you got the band Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No.
I
I don't know the name of that, but it's definitely not from David Bowie. However, I 100% believe this. I'm not saying that I've tried or gone skiing or participated in any snow activities, but I'm going to say that I know that you do not get hungry. So I 100% believe this. And it's David fucking Bowie. So, all right. I've got Would You Rather's next. You.
We'll listen and tell you.
How about you? Your laws are usually next, I think, actually. I don't write that down on my, like, synopsis. So.
Yeah, well, sucks to suck.
It's your baby. It's your...
Okay, so this week is Florida.
I thought... Did we already cover Delaware?
Yeah, we did Delaware.
Oh. See where I go? Do we? Oh, there's not an E... There's not a state that starts with an E. That's kind of weird, right? I didn't think about that.
East Texas.
Yeah. That's not a thing.
You know, I mean,
it's a thing, but it's
one
not.
of the facts I was looking up today said all... So there's 7 continents. All 7 continents start and end with the first letter is also the last letter.
Oh.
And so I was going through, I'm like, that's not that can't be true, because you got Europe, which is yes, Asia, yes, Africa, yes, Australia, yes, Antarctica, yes. But then you got North and South America, so they're just calling it like America.
Yeah.
It's like,
Here's another fun musical fact. Do you know what band has... There's only one band that's played all 7 continents. Do you know who it is?
oh man. Is it like AC/DC or something?
Metallica.
Metallica.
Is the only band to play all 7 continents. Why? Because Antarctica never gets played.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are the only... They are
So
the,
they played in Antarctica?
They were the first and only band to play in all 7 continents. Yep.
I mean, that's cool.
Fucking Metallica.
Anyway, so Florida. I only picked off a few. I'll keep it going. You cannot skateboard in Florida without a license,
What?
which is really strange because everyone in Florida likes skateboards. There's a
Yeah.
ton of them. So it's obviously not enforced, but it is a law. It's statute
I'll be that cop.
316.0085 if anyone wants to look it up.
I'll be that cop. I'll be that cop. Let me be that
Get
cop.
over here, skinny jeans.
Let me be that cop. I am stopping them with extreme prejudice. You heard it first. sticks under wheels. Let's go. Skateboarding punk.
Taser.
Yes.
Better
Even
not
better.
be covered in gel.
Even better. Oh, man.
You cannot gossip. So, I mean, that's kind of a cool law. I mean, shut your face.
What? Seriously? Like, that's a...
It's a law. It's Chapter 836 of Florida statutes.
What?
And it just kind of tells you what you can and cannot say, like, as far as defining gossip. But, I mean, it's in there.
Like, they understand that their whole state is, like, full of old fucking people that have nothing to talk about, right?
If you've watched the media, it's all about gossip.
Yikes.
You cannot shower naked.
Try and stop me.
So, I could not find the details on this, but I'm telling you what I think. Like, when I first heard it,
Yeah.
it's the showers on the beaches.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, like, I feel like, okay, yeah, you could probably shower naked at your house.
That makes sense. That
But,
makes
like,
sense.
you just can't drop trowel and go shower on those little showers on the beach.
Try and
that are,
stop
like,
me.
Open to everyone. I mean, come on. Look at, I mean, if you ever been to Florida, seen Florida, they're pretty much naked anyway.
That's right. They're always on the news. I got a Florida story actually on my thing right now.
And you cannot hang your clothes on a clothesline. No, I think this is to a specific area,
Okay.
but it only became a law because it actually went to court and got settled like that.
Yeah.
But it happened from an HOA area.
Oh, I see.
So, again, HOAs ruin everything.
Yeah. Another law on Florida that you don't have is you cannot sell bubble gum within 20 miles of any Disney resort or Disney property
Okay.
because they don't want like gum stuck to their rides and have to pick it up off their like sidewalks and stuff like that. So it's a Florida law. Within 20 miles of any Disney thing, you can't buy gum.
I don't know why that just brought up. So there's a guy on TikTok who has a car that looks like Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, and he got in trouble for it.
Yeah, so like because he became like popular and he's on PUD over, Disney's like suing him, and I'm like thinking like, really Disney? Like,
Right?
it's not like he's like making buku bucks or anything off
because
this car.
he's
or
making
anything.
money off of Disney. They don't care. I got a cease and desist from who was it? It was Harley Davidson. I put out 2 Harley Davidson cornhole. So I used to make cornhole boards.
Yeah.
I don't want to say professionally, but I made, I had a business. That's 90% of what I did was make cornhole boards, and I made like high end, $300-$400 sets of cornhole boards, like high end cornhole boards, and I made 2 different ones. I made a set of Harley ones for a charity auction for the like the band that I wear for Brent Zuha charity auction. He's a kid that we went to school with that died in the Marines when he was 18, 19, quite a few years back. And so they have a poker run every year. I made a set of Harley boards for that. And then I made a second set for a customer. There was a friend of mine that ordered them. And I got a cease and desist letter. They found out my mailing information from Instagram. And they sent me a cease and desist letter to not put their logo on stuff. Like, just what? So the 3 big ones that I've heard that are the worst about this, about sending out letters and stuff like that, is Harley Davidson, John Deere, and Disney. So, beer companies don't care.
Yeah.
Beer companies are all about having their logo wherever. They don't care. There's all
The thing
kinds
is like the car itself though is not really making money for him at all at any point or anything. It's just
it's
a
the
car
social
that he
media
designed.
coverage of it, right?
Yeah. And so it's not even that. Like his social media is not just that car. I mean, it's a big part of everything, but it's like
And it looks
you have a
legit.
car. And so
looks
I
great.
commented. I even tagged Disney in it. I'm like, hey, I just need to be sure I'm cool. My daughter likes to dress up like princesses on Halloween. Do I need to tell her to knock that crap off?
In case you don't follow, Kyle is the unrequited master of the best comments when it comes to anything on social media or something like that. He does a lot of like, if they're like local news stories, he will have the top comment out of all of them. Some of them have been just ridiculous. And and they get ridiculous amounts of
Honestly,
likes
I'm
and stuff.
surprised that like 1011 News hasn't like just banned me from their
Oh
site
yeah,
yet.
for sure. Some of it is so funny.
Right.
Oh man. All right. Is that the last one you got?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think my favorite one for that was Scotts Bluff had a fire. Like they said, a house went on fire and like 23 cats died.
Yeah.
And so I commented on it. I just said, and in other news, local Scotts Bluff Chinese restaurant struggling as meat processing plant went up in flames.
Oh, nice.
I know they even made me I don't think they made me, but I'm a top fan.
That makes sense. Nice. Let's. So I got would you rather's. You said you didn't have any.
No, I didn't.
Let's do would you rather's, and then we'll get into this. What's in the news? I think.
Okay.
We got what's in the news and grinds my gears. Would you rather streak naked at the Super Bowl, or have to watch a video of your significant other with somebody else?
Oh, naked at the Super Bowl, hands down.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I was ready to pick that before I even knew what second part was.
You and me both, bro. I would do it. So I don't want to get. I don't like turf burn. I've had it before. It's not good. I don't want it on my dick. But it's the Super Bowl. I don't care. I don't care about the memes about like how small or big or it's gonna be cold. I'm telling you right now. I'll tell you before it happens. It's gonna be cold.
It's always in February. It's obviously cold.
I just got out of the pool. I don't care. I'm huge and I don't care. I would legit love that. I would, hands down. Like
Absolutely.
somebody pay me, like start throwing numbers out. Somebody throw some legitimate numbers out at me. I'll do it.
What up, craft beer opinion?
Oh, hey, what's up, man? So, Craft Beer Opinion on TikTok. He's kind of a newer page, but he did that dragon. He covered that Dragon Fandango that we covered on the last show. That Remember that really, really good, like smoothie style purple one that we had on the last show? Do you remember, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He covered that on TikTok. I was kind of. I know we need to get our TikTok game going.
Yeah, we do.
I need so
You know all these people, and then I just get told who they are,
Yeah.
and then I forget them.
Yeah, no, I
Not on
understand how that
purpose.
works.
Like I don't even know people's names I meet like in person.
I know. The thing is, so like you definitely did you get that? I sent you a Discord invite for Strikeout Beer, so at least you know
Yeah.
like some of those people if you
Yeah.
hop on there and start doing all that. But anyhow, let's get past that. I'm right there with you. Naked at the Super Bowl is 100% what I'm doing.
Every time.
I would if I had to sit through like. Okay, so I got a story for you. Okay. I was engaged at one time to a girl in Kansas, okay?
Okay.
She had a video camera. We had some thoughts and whatever about introducing that video camera into a situation, you know? And so I was clearing video camera out. There was definitely video of her and her ex on that. It just ruined me for that idea, number one, and I never wanted to talk about it again. And then somehow it came up in conversation one time, and then I found out that this guy is like smuggling a small elephant trunk down there, and I was like, I'm like at this point I'm not doing anything for this chick at all. I'm just here for moral support. Like I'm not doing at this point.
Good job, baby. You did great.
Oh man, I'm not even like ringing the dinner bell at this point. Like I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, but it doesn't involve me. That did not last, obviously. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that one. Next one. Would you rather walk across 40 feet of Legos or wade through 20 feet of human waste up to your knees?
Human waste to my knees.
Kind of with you, honestly. Like my feet and whatever, I could wash that shit off. But Legos are forever, bro.
Oh, man, you never recover.
And you're gonna fall. You know you're gonna fall, right? You have to fall. Like I can't barely step on a rock. I have the most sensitive feet ever. Every once in a while, I try to walk out here to the garage, to the bar, to like grab a beer, grab whatever, you know, and I won't have shoes on. Nah, I'm such a huge pussy. There's no way I could. I can't do it. Oh, speaking of, I did put on a brave face, and I walked like a quarter of a mile in Council, Tucky, from the Horseshoe back to the hotel in socks because Tasha wore heels. By the end of the night, she was over it, and her feet hurt, and blah blah blah. So me, being the chivalrous guy that I am, took off my Hey Dudes, let her wear my Hey Dudes back to the hotel, and I walked in just my socks. It sucked.
Should just put her heels on.
I wasn't. We're not the same size, or else I probably would have. And we got back to the hotel, and I picked like 30 stickers out of my socks. It was terrible.
Not a chance. She would have been.
Yeah, but it is.
At that
you know
point.
what though? I like. There's some pictures of me from that trip that people took of like me like like not tying but like refastening her heels and stuff like that. Like I don't care. I'm a pretty romantic guy. I'm a chivalrous guy.
Yeah.
I can do that. You know. I've got a favorite sponge in the kitchen that I like to do dishes with when I do the dishes. It's not as often as I probably should, but it is what it is.
Thought that counts.
Yeah. So we're in the same thing. We're human waste, like a tank of human waste up to the knees. As long as I ain't got cuts or anything, I'm good. I can deal with some gout or something if I need to. Okay, here we go. So, would you rather relive your first time having intercourse, or the day of your favorite Christmas? Right? That's a good one. That was one I came up with off the top of my head.
My favorite Christmas.
You figure it's probably when you were littler, right? I mean, when you got some like super slamming gift or something,
I mean, I know that like I think back like we had a lot of family like when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was like a really big deal. Like all of my family would come together, and that's really dropped off.
Yep, that's the same with us too. Yeah.
I mean, if we could go back to that stage, I would take just a family Christmas again like that.
Yep. No, I'm 100% with you on that. We used to get together, and it would be like all of my aunts, all of my uncle, all of my aunts, all the kids, everything. We'd all get together. We haven't done that for years. I would 100% take that too, especially over my first time.
You want to move on to the?
Yeah, I got what's in the news next. Let's do this beer real quick though.
Okay, do it.
So this next beer that we're going to be drinking on is No Worries IPA. It's a West Coast style IPA from Belching Beaver Brewery. I love that name. And they always have super rad like can art. There's a beaver laying on a raft with sharks swimming around him. Kind of a cool vibe or whatever.
It's a West Coast one though.
This is a West Coast, so it's going to be a little bit more piney.
I don't know if I'm going to. I mean, I'm obviously going to try it, but
I think you'll be okay with this one. I don't think it's too out of the box. It's a 6.2%. It's not super dank or anything like that. I think you'll be okay with this one. But I love Belching Beaver. Belching Beaver makes some great can art. They make some great beers all together. This one is a tad bit more carbonated, but go to town on that one. I'm going to start the news off. This is actually not necessarily like freaky news by any means, but it's definitely worth talking about. I'm going to talk about my man Elon Musk, okay?
Oh my gosh, I had that too.
Okay, so we're going to talk about it. So Elon Musk spent $2.9 billion to become the largest stakeholder in Twitter.
Yeah.
And turned down a seat on the board of directors. Number one, the most boss-ass move you can do when you spend $2.9 billion and you tell them you don't want to be part of their fucking club.
Did you know why, though? Did you listen to why?
Because he wants to buy the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for $43 billion. That's a billion with a B.
Pocket change, though, to him.
So, okay, I know this. I've tried to tone down my cussing and stuff like that, but that is fuck you money. That's a whole different variety of money that normal people never understand. This guy could buy anything he wants.
Well, did you catch? I mean, he said it wasn't a threat, but did you catch what he said he would do?
Yeah, he was going to pull everything. he's the one of the
He
biggest
wants
accounts
to, he
on,
wants to
on
take
Twitter.
it private.
Yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
wants to take it private, and
Because he's reinforced freedom of speech.
yes,
Because he thinks it's too it's over.
yeah. So
whatever.
Trump will probably get his thing back, and like people were upset about this, like the left and stuff for that. Elon Musk is actually pretty liberal, but he's very adamant about freedom of speech.
Yeah. No. There's a lot of people that really hate this guy. I'm not one of them.
Oh, he's a boss.
I love this guy. I really
Doesn't
do.
matter. Yeah.
Who in their right mind is a multi-billionaire? Arguably, I think he is the richest man in the world right now. And he devotes an entire section of his company to make flamethrowers. Why? Because he just wanted to. He put them for sale. There was a select amount of them or whatever. Flamethrowers. He's completely overtaken the electric car market. There's some here and there and pushback about the truck and whatever, but arguably makes the best electric vehicle on the planet.
Here's like my biggest thing with this whole deal.
And
that's coming
SpaceX,
out.
yikes.
You talked about kind of the FU money
Yeah.
there. He spent $2 billion. I'm gonna try it here too.
I think you're not gonna mind it. It's a little piney. It's a little dank.
Not like the other ones though. I'll say that.
It's smooth. I think it's smooth.
It's not nearly.
It's got a crisp little bite at the end.
Other ones.
Honestly, it's crushable. I'm gonna say it's crushable. That's my opinion, obviously, but it's 6.2. I don't think it's overly piney. It's not overly dank. It's really good.
Yeah. So anyway, though, it's what $2 billion for
2.9.
2.9 billion.
Just to be the largest stakeholder.
The 9.2%.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna own Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because they want to sell to him. He gave him an ultimatum that a lot of people didn't catch in his tweet because they don't. I mean, it's basic economics in there. He said that he was just going to basically put his 9% into the public stocks.
Yeah.
Which would just tank it.
Yeah.
It would just tank it. And so he's saying, hey, I'm going to give you 40 billion.
43 billion.
43 billion.
Which they
for 100% control of this.
Which they're saying is too low. That there are certain stockholders that are saying too low. And he goes, okay, if you think it's too low, what's your thoughts on freedom of speech? I'll keep you around. and whatever, you can keep your shares if you're aligned with me. It's a hostile takeover. It's definitely a hostile takeover. For the right reasons.
But the thing is, though, if he takes that 9% and says, and tanks them, this 2.9 billion, he's like,
yeah. So
in the epitome of just giving them the finger, right?
So okay, so his purchase, if he does purchase at $43 billion, is 6% of his income. 6% of his worth is $43 billion. You know what my 6% of my income is? Closer to $43. $43 billion is.
Hey, what up, Josh? Josh is back from last episode.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good to see you again.
Thanks for hopping in. Yeah, $43 billion. 6% of your income? Get the F out of here.
Right? We're just talking about how Elon Musk has just a bunch of FU money to throw around. It's just taking over Twitter.
The craziest thing. New phone, who this? The one and only Tony. Wait, yeah? Stony Tony. What's going on? I don't know who it is, but what's up, man? New phone, who this?
We're jumping in.
What's up? So yeah,
I think it'll be really interesting to know if he gets it or how this is going to pan out. Because
so they pretty much said he has it. They pretty much have already said the purchase has to happen, because if they turn down his purchase, then they have to essentially field other bids. Nobody has that kind of money. Nobody. Disney, that's who has that kind of money, and Disney does not want Twitter. So Elon Musk is the new owner of Twitter. We calling it now.
Yeah, they either just leave poor or they get fired rich. Take your pick.
100%. Okay, so that was only like a portion of my first one. Do you want to go?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Florida man steals a crossbow by stuffing it down his pants.
Oh, I think I read it. I didn't read about it, but I think I saw this.
Crossbow. Here's the thing. I got what you're saying. I was making fun of your stream's title. Hopefully Elon fixes Twitter. Yeah, I think so. I think he should. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, so he stuffs this crossbow, pulls the tags off, and he comes in wearing with like a crutch or something like that, and then he leaves with a crossbow down his pants.
I mean,
I'm telling you right now, if I stuffed a crossbow down my pants,
I usually start with a crossbow and leave with a crutch.
Hey, Yahtzee! There it is. Yeah, I just people would notice, I would think, but he got away with it. He left with a crossbow in his pants and got caught like 2 weeks later or something like that.
Oh, it wasn't even right away?
Yeah.
Pint Pals podcast is saying Elon Musk only wants Twitter now that someone is tracking his flights.
Oh, yeah. So he tried to pay off a kid or somebody that had a Twitter account that follows his private plane everywhere. Like, I don't know how they get that information. I'm sure there's a GPS kind of situation or whatever. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. He's trying to like pay a ridiculous amount of money to shut down that account that's on Twitter. And then like now,
so he's like just gonna buy all of Twitter just because of one like teenage kid.
I don't think it's all of it, but it's definitely part of it. And then the turnaround of that is like other celebrities have been messaging him too. Like Tom Brady has a unfavorable picture of like a combine that he was in or something like that he once taken off Twitter, and he like tweeted it Elon Musk to like take it off or whatever. Like, hey bro, do me this favor. Hey. Like, I wish I had that kind of money. That's right. I'm sorry, but that's raw power. Don't get me wrong. I've always talked about this. As much as I would love to be able to do good in the world, if I was rich, I would be a supervillain. I know it. I know in the heart of hearts that I would just crumble, as my morality is so questionable as it is already.
You would just say everything that you don't say out loud, and then just toss him a few $100s.
Oh yeah. Oh, it'd be way worse than that. Just nobody wants to give me that much money. I would become a different human being. A fun
You'd have
one.
that kind of money if your parents were rich. Apart from, I think it means from birth.
Oh.
Anyway, actually, Elon Musk. Do you know how he started everything?
No.
He wanted to work for the internet company, and he couldn't get hired because he was just shy and whatever. And he's like, well, I guess I just got to start my own. Just started his own company, and then now he's at where he's at today.
Crazy. Okay, so that's what I got. The crossbow was my next story. What do you got?
Josh asked, what's your guys' thoughts on the new USFL starting this weekend?
Oh, I'm a big fan. I really do like these different leagues coming in here. I think XFL is coming back next year as well. I think it's so. The way that I understand the USFL is they're kind of going to be like the breeding ground for guys that didn't get drafted, that kind of thing. Like they're going to be like the B squad and get people ready for the NFL. I think that's kind of how it's going to be.
Arena football.
Well, I mean, it's going to be. They're just like a whole league that's like the Detroit Lions. Like, like they just prep,
almost superheroes.
They just prep guys to be better than themselves. Like Matt Stafford, and then he goes to another team and almost wins. Yeah, they're just the Detroit Lions, but a whole league of Detroit Lions. I think it's great. I honestly do. I think
they should have like a Super Bowl, and then like
the
worst league versus the best winner league of the USFL.
There you go. So the Detroit Lions will play the winner of the USFL every year, and then the Detroit Lions will go down to that. They will be arena football in 3 years. That's how that will work out. It'll be the USFL, and then it'll be XFL, and then it'll be arena football after that. Detroit Lions starring for the Lincoln, Nebraska. We'll get rid of the beef and we'll be the Detroit Lions.
Predators, something, yeah.
Oh, man. Don't get me wrong. I love going to arena football stuff. If they didn't have so many stops for like other stuff, I think I really enjoy arena football. I think it's a little bit more fast. It's a little bit more.
I feel like I could have played arena football.
Yeah, but you could. But you were an athlete in college, though. Like you played rugby in college, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah. I drank a lot in what would have been my college years. I sold cell phones and things, and banged fours. I did a lot of that.
I try not to live too far back in my glory days. It was a long time ago and a long way to go.
Yeah, well, yeah, and a half a person to go for both of us, right?
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually really excited because, it's kind of hard to find like kind of the weird articles.
Yeah.
Like you go to it, but it seems like it's kind of the same thing, or you're always trying to find the new ones, like something's had to happen. I now have found an Asian news site of just weird things that happen in Asia.
Dear God, you've got to be kidding me.
And I am really excited about it, right?
Okay.
So a cop pulls over a van in China, okay?
Okay.
I'll just put it. It's in southern China. It's a white van driving erratically. It was weaving in and out of traffic, which...
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's how you drive in China, right?
I mean,
according to the TV...
I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Yeah. Like, they probably thought it was pretty normal. But to drive erratic in China where they pick you up, I mean, you must have been doing something crazy, right? Law enforcement pull out, and they noticed that the reason they were driving erratically is because he kept getting hit by people because it was pretty crowded in there.
Okay.
It was a 6-passenger white van.
Oh, weird. Okay.
40 people got out of that when the police told them to get out.
That's okay. I mean, they are Asian. So, and I don't want to say that or
they did have a video of them coming out, and the only way I think it worked is there was no seats in the back, so everyone was standing. But still, 40 people in one 6-passenger van.
You know what? Okay, that happens in Texas all the time, and it's not weird.
They were a construction crew.
They were a construction crew. This is definitely... I mean, you pick these guys up at Home Depot also, but they're definitely not construction... Oh, I mean, not at first, at least. At least in Texas, it's different. But and we're not in Texas. We're in Nebraska. Just throwing that out there for everybody. Yikes! That's crazy. In a van.
Van down by the river.
In a van down by the river. Okay. No.
Could you imagine this? Like, all right, I need everyone to get out. What is going on here? Am I being punked?
Coming out in unicycles and shit.
All right, well, you got.
If you're just joining us, we're over here drinking on No Worries West Coast IPA from Belching Beaver Brewery and covering weird news stories right now. My next one is an ecology professor theorizes that the Loch Ness Monster is actually probably a whale dick. So
I have no reason not to believe that, though.
If you Google it, whale dicks coming out of the water looks 100% like the Loch Ness Monster. If you like take it back to black and white photography, 100% whale dicks look like the Loch Ness Monster. They're big, they're girthy at the bottom and get a little bit smaller at the top, just like the Loch Ness Monster head. 100%.
So they're just out there doing like little somersaults and messing with people.
They're just hanging out with their wang out, just screw with people. Watch, they're gonna think it's a
that rowboat over there.
Number one, all I can think about is me as this huge fat guy swimming and then just dick up above the water. People are like, oh, it's the Loch Ness Monster. It's the smallest mushroom I've ever
They
seen.
just do it to build up their self-esteem. They're like, they're going to think it's a monster.
So huge. Shut up, Jerry. You're the smallest one out of all of us.
Not to them, though.
Oh, man. It's bigger than that boat over there, bro. Go ahead. What's your next one?
So another one in China. Took a short drive in a taxi, couldn't pay. The taxi driver made him go up to the house, where he wanted to drop him off, tried to see if his family would help cover it. Anyway, he came back, got in the taxi, lit up a cigarette, and then apparently put paint thinner in the back seat there, and just threw his match in it and took off. Right, burnt the taxi to a crisp. Here's what I think is funny though: is he didn't even make it a half a block. Apparently the taxi driver got out and said, he didn't pay his fare. He didn't pay his fare, and Good Samaritans grabbed him and held him there until police arrived. I think if someone jumped out of a taxi and a taxi driver in the United States got out and said he didn't pay his fare, you're not going to get one person to touch that guy. That guy's going to run off and everyone's going to pull their phone out and just oh, look at that.
Yeah, right?
Wow, that guy's rude. But not in China. They will grab you, hold you, and make you watch that car go up in flames till police get there.
We've got Ngayathin, is how I would assume you spell that. Ngayathin bro is how it looks like. Is that or Ngayathin is how it looks like it is.
I'm just gonna call Guy. What's up, Guy?
What's up, Guy? Hopping in here saying hello. Thanks, and thanks for the follow. Absolutely awesome. Get some new followers in here. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's crazy. Molotov cocktail taxi. So next time your Uber thinks that you didn't pay enough, you Molotov cocktail his car and run away. Okay, so this happened in an NBA game. So this isn't a sports story necessarily, but this happened in an NBA game. It was the Timberwolves versus the Clippers recently.
Yep.
And a woman tried to glue herself to the court as a protest.
Okay. I mean...
Do you know how glue works?
It takes, a little bit.
It takes a little bit to set, right? Apparently, she didn't understand that. So,
Probably
apparently, Glenn Taylor is the owner of the Timberwolves. He also owns a bunch of Iowa chicken ranches, farms,
Of course he does.
horses, houses, chicken houses. I don't know what you want to call them. He owns a bunch of chickens. And egg farm. There we go. That's what it is. And so she was wearing a shirt that says Glenn Taylor roast chickens alive or something like that. Well, that's not the truth of it. But he definitely killed his egg farm, whatever, killed a bunch of birds through suffocation because it was during the big avian flu, whatever. So she was formally protesting the murder of all these chickens, which happens every day for chicken breasts and chicken legs and everything and our sorts. Anyhow, she was protesting the mass killing of all these chickens by trying to glue herself to an NBA court.
Wait till she finds out what that glue's made of.
Yeah, right? She definitely used horses to try to protest about dead chickens. I don't know, lady. Seems a little sus to me. But yeah, so all there was a white handprint on the court that ended up having to be mopped up or whatever. Glue doesn't work like that. Maybe a fly trap suit next time or something, but glue doesn't work that way. So that was I thought it was pretty great.
Okay, so Japan is offering discounted funerals, discounted food to drivers who give up their license, but not just any driver, specifically elderly.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So the America should do Uber vouchers or something like that.
Right.
Because there is way too many elderly people that still have licenses who who can't walk out of their house without help, yet still have a driver's license to go just mow pedestrians over or stay in one lane when you're trying to. Oh my God.
So yeah, they were looking at statistics and stuff, and they just noticed that there's a lot of accidents due to elderly drivers. So they just said, "Hey, you know what? We'll help pay for your funeral if you just don't drive no more."
We'll pay for the box. We'll pay for the box. Yikes! You know what? I think it's a fantastic idea.
Oh, I do.
I think that's a great idea. I think so. Here's my thing, though. So as much as you have to test and yada 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 when you're getting your license, I feel like after you reach a certain age, you should have to continue to test yearly or whatever.
The ones who do keep it, they have to test.
Oh, on there, yes.
Japan.
I think in America, I think in America you should have to test as well. Once you hit, say 70, right?
So I think maybe start 60, 65.
At a certain point, you should start having a test.
Anytime anyone on a
annually.
regular basis drives 10 under the speed limit, they should just have to retest and fail.
Put one of those State Farm trackers or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, we noticed you hit 60. Why don't you put this in your car? We're going to decide whether you should or should not keep driving.
So with my job, we have GPS in our trucks, and you can program it to do all kinds of things. You can program it to check all kinds of things. But the ones that they have ticked, right, is excessive acceleration, excessive braking, and going over 85 miles an hour. Not breaking the speed limit, just going over 85 miles an hour. So 85 miles an hour in a school zone is okay as long as you don't excessively accelerate or excessively brake.
Okay.
So kids, watch out. Because I have a full bucket truck that is thousands of pounds that is not stopping for your chocolate milk drinking ass.
You know what's funny is I was telling my wife, I was like, man, I didn't have any would you rathers or whatever.
Yeah.
And my wife, she's going to yell at me, but I thought it was funny because I was laughing after she asked it and I answered, but she said, okay. Would you rather eat a dead animal or a dead human? And I was like, well, to date, I don't know if I've ever ate a live animal, so I guess I'd have to pick animal. It's just like, okay.
As a card carrying member of eating live animals, I've never ate a live animal. However, I have ate a live human a couple of times. She was okay with it. I had no complaints. It got a little messy, but we took care of it.
You're nasty.
I went there. I definitely went there. Oh, that's all I have. I've cried my gears.
Did you see legendary comedian? They say legendary, but I'm just going to say comedian. Gilbert Gottfried died.
I did.
67.
I saw that. I didn't see a cause of death.
It just said battling with an illness. And it didn't say cancer or anything. It just said illness.
It just said illness. Yeah, that's what I think I've seen that too. Underrated, so here's a fun fact. That voice is not his actual voice. That voice that you've always heard that he used in everything and whatever, that's actually not his normal voice or whatever. That was like a thing.
That explain how he has friends.
So, but very little people know what that other voice or whatever sounds like. That whole thing was a voice that he used for comedy, for whatever, for same thing with Bobcat Goldthwait is another one that has his voice. That's not his normal voice or whatever. And then Larry the Cable Guy, obviously that's not his normal voice either. So like Larry the Cable Guy is actually Dan Whitney.
Gottfried's fake voice made me want to punch him in the nose.
He was also a Iago in Aladdin, and nobody complained about it. So it made him a lot of money, and he did.
Oh, no, I would make that sound, too.
He had pretty decent comedy. Did you ever see, when he was, a guest roaster on anything? On,
a couple, yeah.
I think it's pretty funny. He had some, he had some bangers. He was a good guy. He was a comedian. He was good friends with Norm Macdonald and stuff, too. And so,
Yeah.
you know,
You got that comment still up there, by the way.
oh geez, I've had it forever. Sorry guys, I'm only paying attention
I just
so
noticed
much.
too. So
So I got grind in my gears. You have more grind. Let's go through a couple
oh
of yours.
man, I was just.
You got
It's
it.
been
You got a
week.
lot.
I had like a bunch today.
Oh, okay, okay. I have mine is kind of resulting from today. But yeah, go ahead.
I hate. So like one, I don't like drivers that go under the speed limit to start with, but that's neither here nor there in the
Okay.
fact of this. I hate when I have someone going 5, 10 miles under the speed limit,
Yep.
and then another person that's following them that just refuses to pass them but stays right on them. And then like you can never just pass because it's either pass 2 or 3 at a time or pass none, instead of like giving spaces in between each one. And I noticed that today on my way back, trying to get back from soccer over to Central City and stuff, there was a semi going like, it was like going like 60, 58, something like that. And then there was a truck with a U-Haul trailer behind it that was following the semi.
Wow.
And then there was a pickup behind the U-Haul. And then there was a Prius. And then there was me. And we were going like 55 for like ever. And there was so much time to pass. I'm like, why are you guys not doing this? And then finally we got an open stretch. I passed all of them at once.
There you go.
I just mobbed it.
So there was a guy follow. So I'm gonna put this out here. Me and Kyle drive a lot of like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles a week. We do definitely different jobs, but I put in easily 300 to 500 miles a day. Kyle probably doesn't put as many as that, but quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It comes out to like 1,500 a month.
So it's a lot. So we both drive a lot. Today, we were going to Grand Island, and there's a DAV. Do you know what? It's a company. I want to say it has something to do with the military.
Okay.
But it's DAV something. That's the abbreviation, and they had like a wrapped vehicle. So we weren't going as fast as they thought that they needed to go. Same situation. We were all backed up. There wasn't a lot of room to pass. So what's this guy to do? He just chooses to pass with no opening. He just chooses to pass. So he goes over to the passing lane, starts going. He passes me. He passes the guy in front of me. And then there's a car coming. There's a car right there. He doesn't care. He just keeps going. The car has to take the shoulder, like all the way in the shoulder, almost in the ditch. Takes the shoulder, and then he like fits in just barely in between two vehicles, enough to where like he has to like slam on the brakes to like fit in. And then like goes around another two, kind of like the same obnoxious. I'm like, man, I wish I would have I'd have called that bastard in. Like, there's the right way to do it, and then there's definitely the wrong way to do it. That was the wrong way to do it.
You might as well just taken the shoulder yourself and went around.
I've thought about it. If I was not in a company truck, it might have been.
There's times I've considered.
When I was, you know what, on a motorcycle, I feel like it's a different thing. I've taken the shoulder a ton of times to get around people. When I was on a motorcycle and I didn't have an opening, I'm like, I'm not sitting here. Like, I can go 140 miles an hour or whatever. I'm not going to sit here and go 35 miles an hour on a highway just because it's busy on the one side.
Right.
But yeah. Okay.
All right, what else you got?
So I've only got one.
Okay.
So my one is I am sick to death in more than one aspect of bad behavior being rewarded. Okay?
Yeah.
So in the job that I'm in, right? So I feel like my job is like utility, right? It's everybody requires at this point internet to survive. Whether they want to admit that it's not a luxury anymore. It's a utility. 90% of people, that work from home require it, obviously, stuff like that. Like it's a utility any more than anything else is. And if you bitch, if you complain, if you raise hell, that's the first people we have to go and fix. The squeaky wheel gets the oil first or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I am so sick to death of that being the case, right? and it's all aspects, right? We've lost a lot of people in our job. I feel like our job has a high turnover rate as it is, but we've lost a lot of people across the board as far as like people leaving and going to other companies or going to other jobs, whatever. But those guys that go to leave, what's the first thing that they want to do? Throw money at them to stay. I'm not saying that's necessarily bad behavior, but at the same time, it's not loyalty. It's not, you know what I mean? Like they're choosing to leave a company or whatever. But if you go to leave, if you threaten to quit, then boom. Oh, well, we can probably get you a couple more dollars. We can whatever.
I feel like if they did that to start with, you probably wouldn't have as many people quit.
100%. And it's been something that's been brought up a million times. But this is across the board. This doesn't just happen in this industry. It doesn't just happen with my company. It happens across the board. You know what I mean? Like bad behavior is always rewarded, and that's why I'm going to be a supervillain. If I ever get FU money, I'm going to be a supervillain. You know why? Because bad behavior is rewarded, 100%. Razor Ramon said it best. He said, "Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Assholes live forever." 100%. Bad behavior is always rewarded. And it's a pain in the ass, especially if you're trying to be good and you're trying to be loyal and you're trying to be the right guy and you're trying to, whatever. You know what? If they can take advantage of you for doing all of the work and not getting paid for it, you know what they're going to continue to do? They're going to continue to give you all the work, and they're going to continue to not pay you for it because, well, fuck, you're doing it already. You might as well just keep doing it, and we're just going to keep paying you shit wages to do it. It's the wrong mentality. There's a few companies out there, and it gets fewer and fewer every year, that really go above and beyond to make that not the status quo, that really do something for you. It's just not,
So there's one that boils my blood on that.
Okay.
Without saying, what I do or anything.
Yeah.
I work for a department, and I used to work for another department under the state.
Okay.
The previous department was terrible. They couldn't run anything efficiently, well, or any. They had just a ridiculous amount of turnover because of how poorly they ran their department.
Okay.
I'm now in a department that's ran pretty efficient. Like it's ran pretty good. Everything's going to have its flaws, everything's have, but overall it's great. They're pretty good. We're all on the same team, same side. I don't mind it at all. Flaws, yeah, but not career enders for me.
Yeah.
The department I did work for, I was making $18 an hour in a position that required either years of experience or a degree.
Yeah.
Since leaving that department, which is about 4 years ago, they now, and this is part of their union too, did this, but they are now making $28 an hour. In 4 years, they made $10 more an hour because they couldn't get people to stay because it's ran so bad that instead of just fixing the people that are running it, they offer more money to the people to not leave it.
Yeah.
And so these people, the department I work for now, I have to have a 4-year degree to work here. They will not even consider me if I don't have a 4-year bachelor's degree. And so I had to have a bachelor's degree to get it, which means I have college debt, all that. The other department is now making more money than me, and they just have to have a GED or a diploma.
Yeah. Your wife hopped in here saying you look good, honey.
She must not have been here earlier.
Yeah. Here, she wasn't. So this is going home with Kyle. This is your shirt here. Right here. There's yours. That's going home with Kyle. If he remembers it. I'm sure he will.
Gonna cost you.
Giggity. I agree. I think it's crazy. I think it's bananas. I think that there always has to be like this catalyst, right? There has to be, the turnover rate being ridiculous, whatever. I have the same thing going on in my company, right? So the company I work for, my supervisor today announced that he is putting in his resignation. Our head maintenance guy that's above me also turned in his resignation. And then there's another guy. He's resignating. He's going to be a cop, so he's leaving for a different reason. However, this guy, especially my supervisor, is like the exemplary employee. He does not take time off. He doesn't this. He doesn't. He is. If there was a here's what we want as an employee in this company, this is the guy, right?
Yeah.
And they burned him out. They gave him too much responsibility to not enough pay. They gave him too much responsibility. They tacked on stuff. They didn't, So here's the kicker. He goes, turns into his resignation, and then all these bigwigs start blowing him up. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we can give you a 4-day work week. We can give you, we can get you, we can get your pay up there where you need it. Blah 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 blah. And this has happened multiple times with people leaving. Every single time they leave, oh, we can offer you, and it's not like oh, here we can give you $1 more. It's like, oh, we can give you $5 an hour more, or something ridiculous like that. And then so it's like, okay, well, how about instead of when you're struggling, when they're leaving, when they're exiting, how about you just turn around and pay your damn employees across the board a little bit more? Maybe you'd have a whole crew of people that are a little bit fucking happier to come in every day and do the job that you're trying to pay them for. Yeah. Pay them more than they're worth, right? Pay them an exemplary amount of money. Make them earn that money, right? Say you want the best employees in the business, pay them more than anybody else does.
Yeah.
And then what they're going to do?
Standards too, though.
Yeah,
because you get so many employees that come in and are trash, and it's like, hey, sometimes you do have to let some go.
Yeah, yep, no, exactly. You hold them to a standard. You go, okay, this is what we expect. This is what we're paying you. All you have to do is work up to your potential. We know what you can do. We understand what you can do. We hired you at this rate for a reason. Do it. You work up to that.
Right.
And then we'll pay you X amount of dollars, We're going to pay you more than the competitor is going to pay you. You know why? Because we want the best in the business, and we know that we're going to be the best in the business if we pay the best in the business. That's not how it goes with big companies, though. Big companies are all about pinching pennies and whatever. So here's the craziest thing. So what we are as a company is we're owned by a pension fund. So we're not even owned by like somebody that's like trying to be the best in the business, whatever. We're owned to make money, and then they're going to turn around and sell us. That's 100% what we're made to do. I understand that that's what was going on. So, but this is what they're, at this point, all they're breeding in this company is an entire workforce that's looking for a single payout at the end of this buyout, because we're all, we don't like own shares of the we're not shareholders. That's not how this company works now. Okay. But we will get a cut. We're supposed to get a percentage cut when this buyout happens. So they're not breeding longevity. They're not enforcing us to work longer. They're going, well, you're going to have this payout. That's how this is going to work. This is what. Well, we're not gonna pay you more money because you're going to get this big payout coming out. And it's supposed to be big. They're talking ridiculous money. For an example, they've been throwing out like $30K for the average employee. They're talking big money. That's for us in the Midwest, making what we make in the Midwest.
Yeah, but
that's big money.
Every how many years, and possibly
it's a possibly, number one. And then if it does happen, it's a once. It's a once and done. Then we're owned by this bigger company, and that's it. So that doesn't mean that our pay is reflected in that. That means that our pay is lower because they're counting that as something that will happen when it might not.
Yeah.
If we just have a garbage year this year, the company that's supposed to buy us, that's in contract to buy us, can definitely opt out. They can go, you know what? Well, your performance hasn't been there in the last 3 years or whatever. We're not going to do it. They can sell back their, whatever. And then we'd have to go look for somebody else to buy us, and then it's not going to be near as high as it is or whatever. It's ridiculous. So
like for my previous one, I wasn't going to put up with it for $18 an hour.
No.
I might have for 28.
For 28? For 28, it's a whole
Plus,
different thing.
their overtime is double pay. It's not time and a half, it's double pay. So they're making almost $60 an hour.
Okay, so I definitely waited till the very end for this beer. We're going to end on this beer. I'm not going to give you a lot of it, and I'm not going to give me a lot of it. I just want you to try it.
Okay.
So this is Pickle Pills from Drum Conrath Brewing Company. It is made in North Dakota. This is a 5.2% 31 IBU beer. It's got pickle juice and dill as adjuncts. Uses Magnum hops. They give like the whole bill here, like everything. But so we've done. Oh, sorry, my PC is running low. Apparently, it's not plugged in right now. How is it not plugged in? I don't
know.
I don't know how it's not plugged in.
Above my pay grade.
Okay, well we're gonna end this anyhow. We're gonna try this beer and then we're out of here. So here we go. I don't know how this is seriously not. It's definitely plugged in. I'm just gonna pour a little bit. You pour a little bit, and then you go to town. All right, ready?
No, I hit that all wrong.
That's okay. Smell it though. It's a ton of dill.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You ready for this one? I don't think you are.
That's not the worst thing I've ever had.
I can only do so much. I tried it. I will, full disclosure, I tried it before this podcast. I tried it with a bunch of other people that were over here for when we were working on some stuff. But so it's not quite as sour.
I don't know. It's not really bitter. I
think it's almost
like a pickled juice with a little bit of alcohol.
It's odd.
I don't know under what circumstances I would want this.
You wouldn't. you just wouldn't.
Like
It's
cheeseburger and.
I feel like it's aggressive. I feel like I don't know why it's not working.
You would have to love dill pickles, I think, to have this.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and I love dill pickles, and I don't like it. I just don't. I'm not going to finish this beer. I've already tried this once. I'm going to try to pawn the other two off on other people. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever had. It's not quite a sour. It's definitely a Pilsner with just a little bit of dill. It's almost too much dill though.
Yeah.
We've tried beer in a spear before, which is like a like a Bud Light or something like that. You drop a dill pickle in there or something, or a little bit of pickle juice. I don't mind that. I might try and turn these into bloody beers, because that would be the dill pickle and stuff like that. And you add Bloody Mary mix into this. I think that might work. I'm not going to drink the rest of this beer though. No. Like this way. It's not. It's just. It's. And so that being said, my way that I like. How do I want to say it? The way that I. Why is that not charging the right way? Anyhow, the way that I.
Spit it out.
I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. The way that I count beers or whatever, like the way that I grade them or whatever, anything below a 5 is undrinkable. So out of a 0 to 10, anything below 5 is undrinkable. It's it's a pour out. This isn't a pour out, but it's awfully damn close. It's probably about a 5.5 in my book. It's very close to a pour out. You can finish a full can of it. I've already finished a full can of it. I will not finish a second. It is as close to a 5 as you can possibly get. That being said, we finished on a little bit of a crappy, I don't know that grind my gears is going to be the last thing. I think we need to change that around so we end up on a better note than we on the bitch session. But we'll get there. If there's anything that you guys like to change or like to see different in our podcast, we'd love to hear from you. It's unlikely role models podcast at gmail.com. You can also message us on Facebook. We're Unlikely Role Models Podcast on Facebook. Also, Unlikely Role Models Podcast on
Twitter.
Instagram.
Elon Musk.
Instagram.
Maybe we can
I
get
think.
him on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
I'll send
Maybe
him a note.
we're a big deal right here. And Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. What else? YouTube. Unlikely Role Models Podcast on YouTube as well. And then we are on Anchor, Spotify, and a couple other places that you listen to podcasts on.
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music is another one. You're right.
Yep.
And we're kind of getting out there. The audio, I hope, for everybody was better this time.
This was fun. I liked this. This sounded better.
I think it sounds a lot better. I think there's a lot less extra whatever, and it doesn't sound like we're in a tunnel as much. I think it sounds a lot better. The video we might change up a little bit. I'd like to get to a point where we're using a GoPro. I have a GoPro Hero 7, and I'd like to use that, except for right now we're using my Samsung S22, and it's actually really good video. So,
Which is not a promotion of any kind.
yeah, I'm not mad at it. I do want to change our background overlay a little bit. I think I'm going to change that before the next podcast. Other than that, I think everything went really good tonight. If you guys are interested in getting Unlikely Role Models podcast shirts, hit us up. I've got about a week to order them before he washes out the screens, and then it's gonna be a while before we order new ones. Before that, I'm not really pushing that right now. I don't think we're at a point where merch is a huge deal to where we need to push it. If you guys want stickers, hit us up. We haven't really come up with a price, but if you guys want stickers, we are more than willing to ship stickers out and stuff like that in envelopes. Hit us up if you want one. And I guess that's about it. Our next episode will be in 2 weeks on Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, like always.
Yep.
Same bat station.
I have that Friday off too because of Arbor Day.
Ooh, you piece of shit. I should take it off too. We'll just get chocolatey wasted that night. We'll do something crazy. I have been Shane, a.k.a. the Horny Gnome.
I've been Kyle. Just Kyle.
And this has been Unlikely Role Models, episode 12. Thank you. We love you. Peace. We're out of here.
Deuces.